How to implement perfect handoffs in construction. You, I think, are going to love this video, because if you're a field leader and you want to execute well in the field and you already have a great strategic plan and the right project delivery setup, you really want to make sure that you win here. So let me take you right into this. Everything in construction is literally about managing handoffs. If you have a zone, that is the piece. When we hear one piece flow, one progress flow, one process flow, that means we do one thing at a time. Plan, build, finish. And then when you go to the next zone, so let's say that this is zone 1 and this is zone 2. I'll say plan 1, build 1, finish 1, plan 2, build 2, finish 2, right? So you're going to plan, build, finish, but you're going to plan the second zone, build, finish. It's called one piece, one process, one progress flow. So when you do that, that's the core of all lean thinking. Once you're into that mode, now you can synchronize the rhythm. Now you can manage production. And also, I just want you to know, from a production standpoint, the tact time at which you create the zones and the size and amount of work in the zones have a great deal to do with how well you produce. But enough about that, that's in other videos. The bottom line here is that if you want to really win in construction, it's not just your percent plan complete for promised activities, it's the handoff that happens here. If you are a trade partner, and let's see if I can draw this, and you're in this zone, and the trade partner, I'm just not cluttering up here, I'm drawing the trades down here. And if you have a toxic general contractor, then what will happen is you will have that general contractor trying to push you into that other area. And this trade is going to come over here and become a burden on this trade, and there's going to be a clash and a lot of unhappy people. Really, that's not the way it should happen. If you have a trade that's in zone 2, they should finish their work and move out, almost like there's a little rope attached to this other trade partner, and you're pulling them into that other zone. I don't know if you all were in that, but I was in a kindergarten early on. I was born at a young age. Anyway, like kindergarten, like really young. When we used to go on little field trips and stuff, they had a rope with knots and actually a little tail off of it. And they'd say, kids, hold on to the rope. And we'd hold on to the rope, and we're like walking around because we're little kids, obviously. And they want to keep us safe. So imagine you're holding ropes and you're literally pulling each other into the zone instead of general contractor pushing you. This handoff is key. And what has to happen is we have to make sure, and I'll just do this, that if a trade partner is in the middle, that they're planning out ahead and finishing as they go. Remember, plan, build, finish, okay? So if on your construction project, you have a nice strategic baseline, not a CPM baseline, but a strategic baseline, which means the overall strategic plan for the project. And you have your meeting system Monday through Friday that says we do strategic planning, we do look ahead and weekly work planning, our day planning, and then we communicate that to the workers the next day. So you have your strategic planning and procurement, and you have your meeting system, and you're set to go. And you're a field leader that wants to do a good job. Then what you have to do is make sure that you are focusing on the handoffs in the field. So if you have already, your train of trades, meaning you have your task number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or wagon 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5, and they're about to go into these zones and do work, your job as a field leader is not to push, it's not to panic, and it's not to rush. It's to constantly be working what's called zone control. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Where I'll just draw a zone up here, where if the foreman is working with the crew, when you go have conversations, it's not rush, 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 push, 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 panic, 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 panic. It's what is in your way, and you as an assistant super, field engineer, assistant PM, whatever, PE, ask, trade, what is in your way that would keep you from finishing your zone by your deadline? And are you finishing behind you? So you can just go ahead and punch out, like finish, do your touch-up paint, finish the concrete, go ahead and scrape the floors, patch the column, everything just 100% done. Are you finishing as you go? You're managing as a field leader. This is so good. I hope I'm doing a good job. The concept's good. I didn't say I'm good. But you're managing the zone boundary and the zone boundary for finish and prepare. And the key here is in zone control, if you are an assistant super, let's say, and you're working with foremen, you're not pushing. You're saying, how can I make the rest of this zone work before your deadline easier? How can I work with you to make sure that you're finished, which makes the work for the next trade easier, so there's flow, and you can manage your handoffs. So once this trade partner says, okay, this is so good, finishing as I go behind me, and this trade is finishing the work and has hit this zone to where now this trade partner goes to the next zone and the trade partner behind comes into it, that is called a handoff. If you were marking all your handoffs, let's say in a day you had, let's do easy math for me because I don't math very well. Let's say you had 10 handoffs and you're like, yep, nope, yep, nope. You missed 2. If you calculate that, 8 into 10, your perfect handoff percentage would literally be at 80%. Now, some of you people are thinking, well, what about percent plan complete? Jason, you're just ripping off the last planner system. I love the last planner system, and the reason that I track perfect handoff percentage over percent plan complete is because PPC tracks all the activities. Perfect handoff percentage tracks key handoffs that are coordinated in the weekly work plan, meaning it's on the path of critical flow. It's a critical activity. And so if you're above 80%, you're tracking. And so you as a super, if you want to really do a great job for flow, yes, clear your roadblocks, do everything I've talked to you up until this point, but make sure you're focused on these handoffs. Because if you're hitting your handoffs, you're flowing. And to hit handoffs, you prepare and finish. You can be a leader if you are clear, which clarity comes from zone boundaries and tack time durations. If you provide training, you're training the foreman every step of the way, and you're helping and providing support. So you're saying, how can I help you prepare? How can I help you finish? That is leadership at its best. Your percent plan complete, your perfect handoff percentage scores are gonna skyrocket when you're managing this. Focus on the handoffs. So if you have a great system, the next step is make sure you're hitting those, because that's what tells you you're flowing. I'm going to put this into a visual and a blog post in the description below, but if you need help, reach out to us. This is one of 5 videos that talk about tactical execution in the field that will really help you out. I hope you've enjoyed this. On we go.